Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Have you noticed how everyone seems to be talking about GLP-1s lately? Like Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. GLP-1s, like the ones I just mentioned, are helping people lose 10 to 20% of their body weight. That's pretty cool. So why would I, someone who has struggled with food and weight my entire life, choose not to take them? Let's talk about it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm the incredible shrinking Steffi. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, be a part of my journey, and allow me to be a part of yours. I have lost over 170 pounds from my highest weight. I have battled with obesity and food addiction my entire life, so I get it. Here you will find faith-based encouragement, practical weight loss tips, and the real, raw truth about what it takes to build a healthy body and mindset that lasts. My mission is to show you that change is possible, not by chasing quick fixes, but by renewing your mind, fueling your body, and keeping God at the center of it all. So stick around, because if I can do this, you can too. So today I want to talk about something that's become really common in the weight loss space: GLP-1 injections. I've had a lot of success just this year, and I saw a couple comments inquiring on whether or not I was taking any GLP-1s. So I wanted to clear the air and share my personal opinion on them. I personally know quite a few people who are on them or have been on them, and a lot of them have had success, especially with something that my own doctor confirmed. They quiet the food noise. And if you've ever struggled with constantly thinking about food, obsessing over what to eat next, or feeling out of control, you know how tempting that sounds. So before we get into my personal opinion, I want to talk about what these medications actually do, because some of you may not know. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide 1, which is a natural hormone our body makes to regulate blood sugar and appetite. So these medications mimic that hormone. So here's how it works. They slow down digestion, so food stays in your stomach longer. They send signals to your brain that you're full, so you naturally eat less. They reduce cravings and quiet the mental chatter around food. They were originally designed for type 2 diabetes, so they also improve blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity, which is a big deal for anyone with insulin resistance or prediabetes. In terms of weight loss, studies show people often lose between 10 to 20% of their body weight over time. That's significant. But of course, just like with everything else, there are some downsides. They can cause nausea, constipation, or other digestive issues. They're expensive, require a prescription, and if you stop taking them without lifestyle changes, the weight often comes back. But again, the number one thing people love is that it quiets the food noise. For anyone who has struggled for years with cravings, that can feel like freedom. So here's where I want to pause and share my personal story. I'll be honest with you. If I said I wasn't intrigued by GLP-1s, I'd be lying. I've always been that girl who wanted the quick fix, the guaranteed results, the thing that promised fast success. And for a long time, I chased that. If there was a new diet, a new program, sometimes a new supplement, or a new shortcut, I was willing to try it. But lately, I've been on a different kind of journey. I'm learning to become someone new. Someone who doesn't jump at every quick fix, but instead leans into discipline, patience, and consistency, something I've never done before. Someone who is strengthening her mindset instead of relying on another magic answer. I've thought a lot about GLP-1 injections since they started to get more popular, and while I completely understand why so many people choose them, I know they're not the right path for me personally. And I never have really felt at peace with the idea of taking them. One of the main reasons is that they work by suppressing your appetite and they make you eat less. And I have spent far too many years in cycles of restriction and deprivation. I don't want anything to do with that anymore. Why? Because I freaking love food. And I love loving food. And I've been able to find a way to continue on this health journey while enjoying the foods I'm eating at the same time. My goal now is different. I want to nourish my body, not starve it. I want to fuel myself with foods that give me energy, strength, and joy, while also building habits and a mindset I can live with long term. For me, freedom from food obsession didn't come from a medication. It came when I stopped labeling foods as good or bad, made peace with eating, and leaned on my faith to guide me through the journey. That's where I have found lasting freedom. And that's why I don't feel the need to take a GLP-1 injection. For me, this journey is about building habits I can live with long term and leaning on my faith when those old patterns try to creep back in, because they do. I'm choosing to focus on lasting freedom, not just temporary results. And that's why, even though I understand the appeal of these medications, I absolutely do, I don't feel like they're the path I personally need to take. I do know what it feels like, though, to constantly think about food. Waking up, already planning what I'd eat. Feeling guilty after a meal, or standing in the kitchen late at night fighting with myself about whether I want a snack or not. That mental chatter is absolutely exhausting, and it's something that I have lived with my entire life. But the shift I made at the beginning of this year changed everything for me. Once I made peace with food, stopped labeling everything as good or bad, and I leaned into a faith-based mindset, the constant chatter began to quiet. Not completely disappear, because that takes time. But I found freedom through mindset work, through learning to trust my hunger again, listening to my body, and most importantly, by putting God at the center of my journey. That doesn't mean I think GLP-1s are wrong or bad. Absolutely not. I completely understand why people choose them, and I support anyone doing what they feel is best for their health. But I also want to encourage you. If you're someone searching for peace with food, there are other ways to find it. Ways that don't rely on a prescription, but instead build freedom and confidence from the inside out. At the end of the day, I don't just want to eat less. I want to live more. I want to nourish my body with food that fuels me, strengthens my mindset so I can stay consistent, and most importantly, keep God at the center of my journey. Because that's where true freedom is found. Not in starving myself, but in finally learning how to live well. Ultimately, it's about finding what works for you in a way that's sustainable and life-giving. My hope is to always encourage women to focus on faith, mindset, and long-term freedom, not just the next quick fix. And that's why I'm in the process of creating a step-by-step program focusing just on this. So definitely stay tuned for that, because it will be launching in October. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Not super long, just wanted to share my personal opinions since there were some comments inquiring on whether or not I was taking them. So the answer is no. If you've had your own experience with GLP-1s, or if you've found another way to quiet the food noise, I would love to hear your story in the comments. Let's keep this conversation full of grace, though, always. Freedom with food starts with faith. Take it one step at a time with grace for yourself along the way. I'll see you at the next video. Bye, guys.